Today we're going to be going over some fantastic fragrances that you can currently get for great prices. I keep a close eye on just fragrance pricing in general, and we've seen a downward trend with all of these. A couple of these are bestsellers. They're really popular. You hear about them all the time, and the price has gone down significantly on them. A couple of these are maybe just a little bit more under the radar. You don't hear about them that much, but they're still at a really good price point. In a world where the retail price of everything is continuing to climb, for a lot of these here on discounters, the prices have settled and dropped quite a bit over the past 1-2 years or so. Now this first one is basically, it's a new release, new as of kind of the end of last year, but it was immediately a bestseller, and even before it was officially out, it was already popular, even though nobody had smelled it, just because of the line that it is in. It is Versace Eros Energy. Okay, so again, Eros, Parfum, Flame, the entire Eros lineup is very popular. And when this was released and it was announced and you could see the picture and the name, it was already building hype. And when people could finally get their hands on it, it did live up to that hype for at least a lot of people. Now you're looking at whatever it is, $115, $120 retail, somewhere around in there. Could be off a little bit on that, but you're up over $100 retail. Not too long after it came out last year, it hit discounters, but you were maybe looking at around $90 or $85 or something. It's down to about $70 right now for 100 ml testers. Okay, so it's a great price for this, and of course that will probably continue to drop as more time goes on here. But if you're looking to pick this one up now so you can actually wear it for summer instead of waiting until October, November when the season is over, kind of like what happened last year, about $70 100 ml tester would be a good price point to purchase at. And I do believe, at least from what I'm kind of seeing online, I believe those testers, they do feature it. And the full presentation price isn't too far off that 70. I think maybe another 10 bucks or so gets you the full presentation if you do want that. But I thought, hey, 70 bucks, that's about the cheapest I've seen it. I think I've maybe watched it dip to like 65 before, but then it sells out after a couple of units, so you almost really can't count that. But that's a good price point to get this one at. It's got a real strong lime lemon opening with some similarities to Creed Aventus. That is what's going to help propel this one in terms of popularity as well. But I just want to say too that there's more differences than not. Okay, so it has some similarities, more of like a Mont Blanc Explorer take on Creed Aventus, but the sheer amount of sour citrus fruitiness off the opening, that type, it doesn't align the same way as Aventus does. This doesn't have the pineapple type of opening. It's just a really sour lemon lime type of smell. It smells wonderful. I really enjoy this one a lot, and it's a great performer as well. Something worth picking up for the high heat. Now this next one is a discontinued fragrance that has been discontinued actually for a really long time, and it's been back here recently, and it's really, really good. I always had the opportunity to purchase this one a few years back when you could get it pretty easily, and I never really did. I don't know why, but recently finally did end up getting it. It's Dolce & Gabbana The One Gentleman. And I'm trying to think, maybe I already had a bottle of this. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. It might have been a smaller bottle. I don't know, because I do pretty much have all of them. Either here nor there, this one's back in stock for 100 bucks. Now, 100 bucks for Dolce & Gabbana The One sounds expensive, especially when, at least I remember it being this way, the One EDP was $50 all day long. $50, 100 ml, full presentation. That is not the case anymore, but I don't know, a good 4 years ago or 5 years ago or so, it was 50 bucks. All the major discounters you could get it for. Nowadays, you're more so looking at around 70 to 75 on discounters for the same thing, the One EDP 100 ml full presentation. So, for an extra $30, $25 to get kind of more of a collector's edition, that's really good. That's not horrible. Take a look at the One Mysterious Night, Luminous Night, Royal Night, those exclusive editions, they were always going for around $100 or more as well. The One Gentleman is probably the best way to describe this one. Gentleman. It has a very refined, woody, spicy, mature smell to it. This kind of nutmeg spice, this mature, kind of classy, elegant smell to it. It doesn't have the tobacco. It doesn't have that kind of the one mysterious type of smell to it with that tobacco and the amber kind of smokiness giving it what it is. This is not going down that path. Instead, it's more of a fresh, spicy, kind of woody style scent, but emphasis on this kind of nutmeg type of spiciness as well, which I don't even know if it's official a note, which I don't even know if nutmeg is officially a note in here. To be honest with you, I was just kind of winging it there based off of what I'm picking up on, but it definitely kind of smells like it. More in line with something more mature and more elegant, less kind of designer level and broad like the One EDP. And that's ultimately probably why this got discontinued. This will never have and never did have the reach that the One had. I think it's a really cool fragrance. I think it smells amazing. It's a lot better than I thought it would be, admittedly, just because, well, it was discontinued and I was thinking maybe it just wasn't good. Kind of like Dolce & Gabbana The One Sport. In my opinion, not the best. I see why they discontinued that one. But as far as scent is concerned, I don't see why they discontinued this one because it smells amazing. Obviously, their numbers probably weren't working for them with it. The coloration is cool. I love the gray cap, gold accenting. Everything about this stuff is great. Highly recommend grabbing some before it's gone forever again. Okay, this next one is a bestseller. It's popular. It's been out for a long time. It's one of my personal favorite fragrances ever, like hands down ever. I wear this stuff all the time, and I've talked about this one recently here in a past couple of videos, and this was actually the inspiration behind making this video. So that's kind of how this video topic came about. This is Roja Elysium Parfum Cologne. So you guys remember, I know I was talking about this a couple of videos back and saying, hey, it's cheaper now than it ever has been. That's the case. Okay, so the price point we're looking at, and I checked all of the prices in this right before filming. So if you're watching like as I'm uploading this, these are accurate. 180 bucks, 100 ml full presentation here. Okay, back when I bought my very first bottle of Elysium Parfum Cologne, I was somewhere around $220 for it, probably $225, and maybe just a touch more because of the shipping and tax and stuff, but just bottle itself, that's about where I was, somewhere around that $220, $225 range. And the retail price, I believe at that time was $290. Now it's a little bit more. And so yeah, I was, still, of course, saving quite a bit of money off of retail, but it wasn't necessarily drastic. Now you're saving well over $100 off of retail. Again, I don't know what it retails for now, but I would imagine it's higher than it was when I first got my bottle several years ago. But I know that you can get this for 180 bucks. I'm going to link everything down below. Okay, so if you're wanting to get these at the prices I referenced, you'll know where to find them. They're going to be linked down below. That way you can kind of partake in these deals. Like I said, if they choose to raise the prices, if things sell out, that's not on me. I can't help that. So if you're having any interest in these, get them sooner rather than later, I would say. But Elysium is one that probably doesn't need to be described a ton, so I'm not going to, other than the fact that it's a citrus vetiver blue fragrance style. This is their take, their iteration, their just kind of attempt at a blue fragrance, and they definitely did a fantastic job with it. The versatility is unmatched, smells amazing, great compliment factor, great quality. The performance holds on for me. Others, they have different results. Your mileage may vary. It's worked for me, and if it wasn't strong on me, it wouldn't be a favorite of mine. All right, let's go for an exclusive edition of something here. We were talking about that with the One and their exclusive editions, but here's one too. It's Stronger With You Tobacco by Emporio Armani. There's quite a few now. We've got the new sandalwood, oud, leather, and I know I'm missing probably a couple of them. I'm sure I would think at some point they would come out with a Stronger With You iris or something. Maybe that would make sense. I don't know, maybe not, but I'm sure they're not stopping with what they stopped at there, sandalwood. I don't think that's one that they're going to end it on. I would think that they would keep going and slowly thin off some of the earlier on exclusive editions. But Stronger With You Tobacco is one of my favorites, which probably doesn't come as a surprise to you because I love tobacco fragrances. It smells amazing, and it's as simple as the name. It's everything you would expect, really. Stronger With You DNA, that chestnut, sweet tonka DNA, with some red pipe tobacco. It's simple. The tobacco itself is a true tobacco accord. It's not something that's very light and watered down. I mean, it's pretty potent, pretty strong. So if you're not a fan of tobacco, this is probably not one that you're gonna like, because they really do double down on it here, which I'm glad to see that they're not just using the name as like, clickbait to get you in, like it's actually a tobacco. So it's $112 right now, 100 ml full presentation. I have no idea what these retail for. I have never really seen them on retail websites here in the United States, because I don't think they're officially available here in the United States. That's why you can only get them through discounters. So I don't know. I just know that 112 is cheaper than I've seen it in times past, where it was 125, 130. So prices definitely come down on this one. And we're gonna finish this video off with Brioni Eau de Parfum Essential. This one's coming in at 100 ml for $71 right now. And it's one of the best Brioni fragrances, at least in my opinion. It's got this green tomato leaf accord with a lot of this kind of sweet, musky, woody, slightly spicy, fresh undertone as well. It smells great. I'm a big fan of this. Why do I like it so much? Ultimately, it comes down to the fact that it's unique. It doesn't smell like anything else that I've ever smelled before. Not only just, within all fragrances, but also even within the Brioni lineup. Like, this does not smell a lot like the Eau de Parfum or the Intense or whatever. It stands out entirely, so there's no redundancy factor with this one. It's probably one of the most unique ones in the lineup. And that's kind of saying something, because even the Eau de Parfum Intense is pretty unique. It's definitely different with that bitter orange, violet leaf sweetness going on that one has, with a bit of oud, I believe, in that Intense version. But this one is even more unique to me, especially because it's a greener style, more aromatic, fresh style scent, which things in this category typically oftentimes aren't quite as unique, and they do smell a bit more similar, but that's not the case here. Definitely something that stands out big time. This stuff is great. And I was on board with this one the first time I smelled it. I mean, right away I knew that this was something pretty cool. I think it's better than the newest Suave. To be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of that one. Very woody heavy, and it's fine, but that one kind of wasn't one of my favorites. It's probably actually my least favorite within the lineup. I would say probably this and Eclat and the Eau de Parfum Intense are probably my three favorites, probably in that order, at least as of right now. This one is great for spring, mild summer, early fall, that sort of thing. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. We've got some popular fragrances that have come down in price. We've got some discontinued fragrances, one that popped up again out of nowhere for a good price, and then we've got some lesser talked about ones that have come down in price as well. Just kind of keeping an eye on everything, and if you've been holding out for anything like these and because you wanted the price to adjust in favor, well, they have. And Eros Energy will probably come down more, 100%. Okay, so if you want to wait another couple years, it will come down more. Elysium, I don't know about that one. I don't see it going much lower than $180. I don't see it. Maybe it will, but it took it that long to go from like $220, $230, $240 even sometimes on discounters, all the way down to $180. So, if you've been wanting a bottle of Elysium, I mean, $180 for 100 ml, it's not bad considering the price of some of these designer fragrances at full retail that people go out and pay for. So something to keep in mind. I'll link everything down below, make it easy for you to find them prices. Like I said, if the prices go up after this video is released or things sell out, sometimes that's just how it goes, I guess. But if any of these catch your eye at that price point, I would do it sooner rather than later. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.